Welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. This show is about one thing and one thing only, turning your gym into a thriving business you love to own. So if you want to know what it really takes to grow your membership, make more money, and build a rock-solid community of raving fans, you've come to the right place. All this information is 100% free, so please subscribe to and review our podcast. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. My name is Marcus Guerzi, and I'm here with the one and only Miss Emily Schneller, fellow breakthrough specialist and program manager here at Gym Breakthrough. And today we're going to be talking about services and how you can actually sell more by offering less. And we're going to get into all that fun stuff. But before we do that, Emily, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Marcus. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for noticing. And what do you got for us today? How do you want to start?
Yeah. So quick question for you, and I promise this will relate back to what we're talking about today, but how many streaming services do you subscribe to? Like watch TV or movies?
Way too many. Like, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
My wife signs up for them all.
At this point, we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, like it's bananas.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I can't make a decision on what to watch. We usually watch one episode of something before we go to bed at night, and my husband always has to make the decision because not only can I not make a decision on what we watch, but like I can't remember what streaming where. It's just like information overload. I'm completely overwhelmed, and it's like a crippling feeling. It's just what to watch on television, and yet I cannot make a decision. Right?
Don't you wish there was like a search that would search all of your networks at once, right? Because it's less about like the decision overload for us as much as it's like, well, where was that thing again? Like this literally happened last night, right? Where my wife was like, we bumped into a friend and she's like, oh, you guys got to watch this thing. I'm like, I know I've seen it somewhere. I'm not kidding you. We spent like 10 minutes going down all the wrong rabbit holes. I'm like, was it on Hulu? No. Was it on HBO? Was it on Showtime? Was it... Just kept going and going, only to turn out like, oh no, it's a movie you got to rent on iTunes. It's not even available on any of these other stupid things yet. So anyway, so much to get lost in.
Yeah, and I think that is true just of like the day and age. Like we have so many options it seems like for everything.
For everything.
And for me, it just makes making the decision that much harder. So
for sure. And good segue into what we're talking about today, because where we're going to start here, guys, is, there's a problem, and that's most gyms that we come across where we are helping them fix their whole sales and marketing engine. One of the areas that we start with is in cleaning up their membership options, because usually they've got a combination of things happening. They've got 1, way too many options. 2, they have options on the menu that don't even serve the goals that they're trying to accomplish for people, and it's just a mess. The prices don't make sense. Everything's just kind of all over the place. And really what this ends up doing for people is that we're creating way too many places for them to get lost and things to consider. And although the reasoning almost always is, well, this is what I thought people would want. And, we had this limited membership. We have a 2-day a week, and we have a 3-day a week, and then we have an unlimited. But then we also instituted contracts. And now we've got a 3, 6, and a 12-month version of all of those. And we're just looking at this matrix that we put together. It's like, geez, dude, like where do you even begin? And nobody really has a good answer for it. And what that tells you is it's like, look, you slapped this together because you thought this was going to work, but this isn't actually serving you or your clients as it should. So we go through this editing process to clean all this stuff up so that it actually reflects who they are to the people they're trying to serve and gives them at max 3 options to choose from.
Yeah. I think that gym owners typically think that the more choices that they offer, the more likely a potential client is to find something that will work perfectly for them and their needs and their budget. Mm-hmm. But I think both of us can agree from our own experience that actually the fewer options you offer, the easier it is for clients to make a decision. And not only does our experience as gym owners lead to that result, but also there's research to back it up.
100%, right? You want to give people as few options as possible. And I love the threes for the fact that it's good, better, best. This is proven over and over again. That it's much easier for people to make a decision that way. And you can even, when you approach it the way that we approach it, you can even get people to choose two of the options more likely than, you can highlight two of them to really stand out, to really guide people to where you want them to go. Because ultimately what you have to remember is that with your membership options, you're hopefully selling a solution to a problem. And that means your programs have to solve a problem. And if you are offering programs that do not sell do not solve the problem that you're promising, right, through your marketing messaging, through your sales process, then you are going to have dissatisfied people, or people who at very least, even if your program is great, your coaches are good, your facility's clean, there's just a disconnect that they can't seem to connect to the value. And this is one of the contributors to a lot of the churn that we see in the 3 to 6 month mark, and that a lot of gym owners struggle with, right?
Is that they're selling memberships as a commodity rather than as a solution to a problem that their members are experiencing. Yeah.
100%. I mean, as long as you are selling memberships that look like what everyone else offers, and you're doing so in a way where, your marketing strategy, your sales strategy, all of that, this creates an experience. And if that experience is telling someone that this is a commodity just like everything else, that you're just selling gym memberships, then you are now in competition with everyone else. However, if you can change your angle to be the problem solver rather than just we sell gym memberships and here's all the stuff that you get, then you become priceless. And this is how you create your unique wedge in the marketplace. So fewer options and obviously making sure that they actually enable someone to solve the problem.
Yeah. So in preparing for this episode, I was actually doing a little bit of research, and I came across this really interesting study that talked about the psychology of choice. So back in 2000, these two psychologists did this study where they looked at jam sales, like jelly jam.
Jam.
They set up this display, okay, at this like gourmet food shop, okay, and they offered samples. And in one display, they offered 24 varieties of gourmet jam. And actually, they had a really good response. Like, people were really interested. They were taking samples. Everyone who sampled the spreads got a coupon for $1 off, and they were encouraged to buy their favorite, okay? Another day, they did the same experiment, but instead of setting up 24 varieties of jam, they set up 6 varieties of jam. Same thing, gave people a $1 off coupon, said, buy your favorite jam. While the display with 24 varieties of jam attracted more people, that display led to 1/10 of the purchases of the other display. So I think it just like hammers home the idea that, you might attract a lot of interest with your idea, but in terms of solving the problem, and in this case it's what's the best jam for my toast,
right.
People make decisions when there are far fewer options. They are led to making a buying decision.
Exactly right. I mean, you ever been to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, I know. You always talk about the
Cheesecake Factory. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like they're like, here's this like book of options, and you're like, where do we even start? They've got Mexican food, they've got Italian food, they've got American cuisine, they've got just everything under the sun. And it's like you glaze over, you like get to page 5 and you're like, are you serious? We're still on appetizers here.
Close your eyes and point. I want that.
Right. And that's kind of how it feels. And it's always this kind of like half-hearted decision rather than going somewhere like, for example, the opposite end of that spectrum, which would be like In-N-Out, where you go through and it's just like, we've got 3 options. You want a double cheeseburger, or a hamburger, pick, right? We offer fries. We offer, it's just so limited. And look at how, and I'm not saying, Cheesecake Factory has been successful, and I think there's a lot of things that contribute to that. But, in our business specifically, we want to take more of that like In-N-Out model of keep it really simple. You came to me for something very specific, so I'm going to make it really easy now for you to choose which version of this you want to use to solve your problem.
Yeah, I think with your Cheesecake Factory effect example, there's always that question in the back of your mind, like, did I make the right choice? Would I have
Right.
rather had this other
What if I wanted
thing?
the Santa Fe salad? I don't know. Maybe I did. I went with these noodles, and I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah, and I think that that second guessing is what ultimately leads to just satisfied, happy customers,
Hmm.
taking that whole second guessing, like maybe I made the right decision, but maybe I didn't. You're taking that all away with offering fewer choices.
100%. And so we've been talking this whole time just about memberships, but let's shift over and let's talk, for example, about retail.
Yeah.
Right? Retail. It is the same rule, by the way, guys, applies to whether we're talking memberships, we're talking retail, so products, whether we're
Mhm.
talking your premium programs, right? How many times do we see this? Someone's like, okay, well, I offer, we have our group class, so we offer, and we also offer PT, we offer custom program design, full individual design, or we offer accessory programs. We offer nutrition coaching, and also we do specialty cycles every quarter. And it's just like, dude, and none of them sell well. I
Yeah.
wonder why. It's
Yeah.
because we offer everything. We want to make sure everyone has every option under the sun, but that's not how it works. People want to be guided, especially in this environment, right? People are coming to you as the coach, as the person to help you solve their problem. So you'd be much better off saying, this is where you start. This is step 2. This is step 3. So maybe you start with our group program, and it's going to start with our onboarding. And you're going to be in our group program for a little while. And then when you're ready, you can add on our nutrition coaching, because that's the other half of this equation, right? Or once you've gotten set up on our group, you've got your foundation with our group program, you can go with our specialized accessory programs to help you focus on something in particular. You got to pick what version you're going to do, and then just make sure everything makes sense and offer as few of options and versions of that as possible. I find it gets a much better sell-through rate, and people are more likely to connect the dots and bridge the gap between, oh, I get it, they've got the training piece and they have the nutrition piece, rather than like there's 90 different training pieces and then there's like 8 different options for nutrition coaching and.
Right. Yeah. To use your retail example, people need a filter, right? So, for example, my retail line that I carry at my gym, I don't just send people to their website that has like every supplement under the sun and say, let me know what you want me to order you. No, I filter that. I pick out my favorite products and I tell people, these are my favorite products from the line. What would you like to order? And I think that just editing, it makes me look like more of an expert too, but it's just simplifying the options so they can lead to making a buying decision much faster and easier.
You bring up a really good point, and that was a good example. The point that I want to highlight here is what you just talked about positioning you as an expert.
Yeah.
You got to remember, guys, like an expert is the more you're considered to be an expert at what you're doing, the more valuable you are. Agreed?
Yeah.
And let's talk about like what makes someone appear to be an expert or come across as an expert. Someone who makes very deliberate decisions because they know what is going to work and help you get where you're trying to go, right? So when you're just like, oh, here's 90 different options, it looks kind of like, and it's kind of said without being said, that like I can't make up my own mind. Like I know that there's all the options and you know all the options, so you just pick whatever you want, rather than being like, nope, I know what you want this, here's the right product for you to use. You need to use this protein supplement. We've got a few options. These are our favorite flavors. Which one do you want? Great, you're also going to need to do this. If you want your help with nutrition, we have this add-on. And keep it really simple and easy to understand and very deliberate. Because if it's simple, then people know this was built with intention, because everyone's used to lots of options everywhere they go. And when you show up somewhere and it's been edited for you, the thinking's been done for you, that's what positions you as the authority on what you're talking about. And if you can craft a good story as to why you do A, and then we do B, and then we do C as our options or our service suite or whatever we're talking about, then people are going to have more confidence in the fact that you know what they need. Mm-hmm. And that is again one of those factors that contributes to your perceived value. And that's mm-hmm. really important in this business. If you're trying to sell coaching, if you're trying to sell anything on the higher end of the spectrum, then that is a crucial part, a crucial component to you and your messaging being successful, right? Because otherwise we're just another guy who does group fitness classes and we offer a bunch of product that, I don't know, pick your favorite and we've got 90 different everything. It's not about volume. Back to that Dieter Rams quote that I love so much. Less but better. Be intentional, be deliberate.
Yeah, not only that, but it just makes communicating the options so much easier. And I mean, Rue, my gym, we only have 3 options for membership, right? I don't even tell people all 3 options in the sales process. I recommend the one option I think would best fit their goals. And if they have questions about I tell them there are other options. The option that I think would work best for you and your goals is X, right? And if they have questions about the others, then they can ask. But, even editing those few options down even further and being like, this is what you should do to get the results that you want to achieve, that makes the decision super easy.
Right. And again, it makes it more prescriptive. It's more intentional, right? And people can sense that confidence and like, okay, great. You came to me with this. I repeated back what it is that you want and what the challenge is. So this is your best option. And the way I always like to do it is I say, here's your good option. Here's your best option. Even if we have, say, 3 options in your case, that way they can see like, oh, I get it. Like there's a little bit of a range here. Right. It works almost every time. Which one do you want to go with? Right. Yeah. And you get a really easy transition to here's my visa, right? Awesome. Let's see here. Anything else you wanted to add to that? I feel like we hit it.
I mean, just in terms of how to decide, what to offer and, in terms of your options and how to price it. I love the exercise that you take people through in the Gym Breakthrough program. I think it makes it really clear, and it's not just assigning value based on what everybody else in your area is doing. There's a very systematic way to go about it. Just like think about, what math makes sense, where are my goals, you know what I mean? And think about what options you want to provide in a very systematic way. The Gym Breakthrough formula, I think the way that you have thought about how to systemize that makes a lot of sense. So
I appreciate the feedback. You made me just think of something. We have a gym owner going through the program right now, and we'll just call him John. And so we just went through the exercise where we go through this money mapping exercise where we take their current model and all their membership options and basically identify, what's all going on. And then we go through this projection, this modeling exercise around their goals. And we basically compare current to their 1-year goal. And the cleaning up and the ahas that happen in that moment of, oh, I get it. It always happens on that call. And we went from, I want to say 15 options total. We had 15 options. I mean, that sounds absurd, right? And someone's probably thinking like, oh, that's crazy.
It's so common though.
It's literally, because again, all it takes is for someone to say, well, we've got a month-to-month rate. We do a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 12-month, right? Which is pretty common. Okay. That's already 4 versions. And then if you take that and you say, well, we also have limited and we have unlimited. And then we have this we have a special student membership and that's a limited one. And we've got our fit camp one. And it's just like,
if you want to buy each program individually, it's this price.
It's unbelievable. And we took that 15 or so options and we condensed it down. And in his case, we got it down to 4 options because there was actually 2 separate tracks. One of them had 3, one of them had 1. And it was very specifically edited down now. And it's so much easier to look at that. And then when you take what we clarify in the vision clarification piece around who you are and the problem that you're solving, and you can then say, oh, I can see now looking at the 15 options that most of these, literally, I'm selling a product that won't get them to where they're trying to go. And I'm letting them, based on their bad habits of, well, I just choose the cheapest option, the lowest commitment option, or whatever excuse it is, that they're just going to default with their behavior to one of those options when it literally won't even get them the outcome that they came to you for. It won't solve the problem. And it's like a $10 or $20 difference a month. If you ask them, hey, you can solve this problem or you don't, or you can't, with option A or option B. The difference is only $20. So basically you can pay like 3 times as much as you've ever paid for a gym membership and still not solve the problem, or you can pay $20 more and totally solve the problem and crush it.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to go for that and be like, no, that's totally cool. I came to you because this problem got worse for me at other gyms, and I'm going to sign up with you and it still won't solve my problem. I'm okay with paying more. Don't sweat it. That's never going to really happen, right? So why even offer it? Why are you offering things that literally don't get them to where they want to go, which only fails both of you? Now you're going to have someone who's going to say, hey, I signed up at Rue. I trained there for 6 months. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was fun, but it was just like it didn't work. I still didn't lose the weight. I still didn't fill in the blank, whatever it was, right? But if instead the only options are solutions to your problem, we've got good, better, best. And then now it's up to you to basically say, you're in. We're going to hit you with the kitchen sink to make sure that you are moving towards that outcome in a quantifiable way so you can see that this is actually working. You become priceless because you actually help people overcome where all the other gyms let them down.
Yeah, it's tying your membership options and what you are offering to your core values. It's not just, hey, what's my marketplace doing and what can I sell memberships for, and, trying to figure out budgetary constraints and whatnot. It is ultimately looking at yourself as a business owner and saying, what am I trying to achieve for my clients, and deciding what to offer based on that, based on your core value. Yeah.
100%. Beautiful.
Love it.
Emily, I think we did it. Good day, good show. Let's just say, thanks for joining us today, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was valuable for you. And before we go, thank you for the applause. This is wonderful.
Has applause buttons now.
I got a new toy over here. What is that? A party I hear, Emily? Party at Rue? What? Things are about to get a lot more interesting around here at Gym Breakthrough.
Man.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope this episode was helpful for you. If you're interested in learning how we might be able to help you like we helped John, then visit gymbreakthrough.com, schedule a free session with me. We can get to know you, where you're at, where you're trying to go, see if we can help you. And that's it for today. This show is going to be available on like podcast channels, all of them here any day now. We have literally the last final touches we're putting on it. We'll be announcing that here in the group shortly. We'll let you guys know. In the meantime, leave us a comment if you have any questions or if you have any feedback or ideas or this resonated with you at all, any distinctions you made from this episode. And we'll see you on the next one. Until then.